नमस्कार दोस्तों, हमारे शॉर्ट हैंड लैब प्रयागराज चैनल पे आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। मैं आपको जनरल डिक्टेशन प्रोवाइड करने जा रहा हूँ जिसकी स्पीड होगी 90 to 100 वर्ड्स पर मिनट। 840 वर्ड की डिक्टेशन है। आप लोग डिक्टेशन के लिए रेडी हो जाएं। स्टार्ट। मिस्टर चेयरमैन, द अदर डे व्हेन द हाउस adjourned, I was trying to prove that even qualitatively the progress of the cooperative movement had not been satisfactory. Only primary credit societies have increased in number and size as compared to the other types of societies which actually contribute to the development of agriculture. Even the loan advanced by these primary credit societies is not being utilized for the purpose of development of agriculture, but instead it is being utilized in many cases for paying off the old debts and for their day-to-day expenditure, because many of the peasants are so poor and so indebted that the credit given by these credit societies, which is meant for the development of agriculture, is being utilized for other purposes. Madam, when we take into consideration the total amount of credits given by these credit societies and try to analyze the different strata of people who get the greatest advantage of all these credits, it will be realized that the upper strata of society are getting the greater share of the credits advanced by these societies. Now we take into consideration the classification of all these societies, which is gives an insight into the development or the improvement of all these societies. It will be realized that only 15% of the total number of societies are classified under A and B class. That means that only 15% of the societies are sound and are able to stand on their own legs without the help of the government or whatever it might be. This has been stated by the Estimates Committee as well. So the remaining 85% of the societies are not functioning satisfactorily at all. 40,000 societies were revitalized in the 10th plan, and last year over 15,000 societies were said to have been revitalized. So it means that nearly 40,000 societies in the past 5 years were not able to function properly and were about to be liquidated, and so the government and the cooperative movement had to go and help them and revitalize them. But even after spending a lot for the revitalization of the societies, we do not know whether all these societies which were dormant or active again. When we take into consideration 15,000 societies, it will prove that the cooperative societies have not improved their position. Now, madam, this bill intends to set up a corporation in place of the existing board. We are told that this corporation will continue to perform the same function as the old board. We are told that the board has been working very well and has been responsible for the development of the cooperative movement all these years. If that is so, I cannot understand the necessity for setting up a corporation different from the board. If the functioning of the board has been satisfactory, what is the necessity for forming a corporation? What are the other advantages that we are having in forming a corporation? We could gather from the annual report on the corporation issued by the Ministry of Community Development and the speech of the Deputy Minister that the board has been only an advancing agency for the respective states. Of course, they have set up 3 or 4 committees to go into the question of the various aspects of the cooperative movement. I think this job can be done by the ministry itself. Now, coming to the composition of these corporation and of the executive committee as it is envisaged in the bill, it is evident that it is practically riddled with government officials. There is only a sprinkling of non-official representation. I can understand the constitution of the board as it is done by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We know the views with regard to democratic decentralization of the Minister of Food and Agriculture. But I cannot understand how the Minister of Community Development, who lays great stress on and gives importance to democratic decentralization, can copy the same old method that was there with regard to the composition of the old board and incorporate it in the new legislation, practically going back on his own recommendations that the cooperative movement must be representative of or carried on by non-official bodies. It is relevant at this time to point out that the Prime Minister himself has pointed out that the cooperative movement must be actually carried on by non-official bodies and that official interference must be the least. But when we take into consideration the composition of the corporation and the executive committee, non-official representation is practically negligible. So all these factors have to be taken into consideration. Again, before the bill was brought forward before the House, the government should have taken advantage to liberalize certain regulations, taking into account the past experience and impediments in the growth of the cooperative movement. The government have tried to make this legislation more conducive to the development of the cooperative movement. Full stop. Thank you so much.